Oh, excuse me. So, um, for certain people, that are having a hard time, like making their own models, I'm going to be doing some really specific stuff today. This is less of a normal tutorial and more about just kind of going into what I normally do, my normal process. And of course, I imagine this is mostly really just for one person that I know. This video, I doubt, will get very many views. I'll turn on my mirror. By the way, you go into your various menu options here. You go to that, the settings, and you turn on mirror, right? And, actually, I've never messed with the different mirror styles. What are the different ones? I don't really know what that means. I hate to say that, it's like, well, I'm the one teaching people and I don't really know what the difference is. Auto scale, I guess there's a difference, but whatever. Yeah, anyways, so I'm going to turn that off. Again, you get to your menu by pushing the blue button, which is correlating, of course, to your actual controller, so you know which one to push. Then, again, I'm going to go into subdivision, as per usual. I'm going to keep the cube. That's what I want to use. And for the moment, at least, I'm going to, I don't know, just pick like a decent skin tone. Decent realistic skin tone, if I can here. Somewhere in there, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I'm going to make... Yeah, it's okay. It's not the best, but it's okay. I'm going to make a cube. And I'm going to go ahead and now... for the sake of the argument, again, using the mirror, when you do create an object, it will create a copy of it, of course. And that's kind of the point. This is for the sake of making something that's symmetrical, which, of course, the human body is. So if you want to make something that's human or humanoid or whatever, this is the best way to start. And of course, like, you don't want to make a full cube per se, because when you put them together, like, if you want to make it more or less like somewhat rectangular, basically. I mean, so here this is, by the way. Excuse me. Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and grab this real quick, and I'm going to pull here just to make it more of an actual cube. It's not perfect, but it's pretty close. But yeah, anyway, so here I have basically a cube. And for some people that I know, on different groups and whatnot, they're having a hard time making like a human head, basically. So I'm going to attempt to sit here and make a head, basically. And I'm not going to do anything too thoroughly complex at first. I'm just going to do some subdivision here and like adding points, etc. God, I'm probably actually setting it up too complicated at first here. Yeah. Actually, probably going to undo some of that. Again, hitting the red button will do that for you. I think I'm going to just start off with a few points on it, a few extra points. That should be enough for the moment. But I'm going to purposely, of course, try to make it more or less rounded and whatnot, like a human head, of course. Pull that inward a little bit. Same there. And then I'm going to take this one and do more or less the same. You sort of start to see that it's taking on basically the shape of a normal person's face, or their head, etc., whatever you want to call it. But yeah, pretty simple, obviously, at the moment. If you turn on subdivision, you can see it's getting there, right? That's pretty simple, pretty easy. Nothing too thoroughly complex about it thus far. Now, I'm going to add, let's say, a line right about here. Again, you don't have to do this. You can. It's not necessary, per se. But these are just different options that I might go with for the sake of the argument. And I'm just, of course, kind of cleaning things up a little bit, which you might do. Again, like doing this, like cleaning things up effectively. It's all up to you how you want to make the model basically look. But yeah, for me, I'm trying to just make a fairly okay human face for the moment. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and add in a line here and a line here. And then I'm going to add in another line, I think, let's say, sort of arbitrarily there. And what I'm going to do with that then, I'm going to do, well, dawns on me that I might need to show another little tool here for a moment. Well, no, actually, no, that probably would work. Come to think of it. Yeah, that should work. That should be fine. Yeah, thinking about the way a human face works. God, it's raining outside. I hope that's not messing with the audio too bad. Anyways, let me go ahead and shrink that down. I'm doing a, yeah, I probably should explain that a little better again, in case anybody doesn't know. I'm doing an extrusion, right? So, grabbing and you can extrude, and the way you do the extrusion in the first place, I'll go ahead and undo that real quick. You grab onto any face you want, basically, to do an extrusion. And I'm grabbing two at the same time. As you can tell, you can grab several if you want. But you grab them with the grip button, like so as to just move things around however you would otherwise want to. And while grabbing it, you go ahead and you can pull out all as far as you want, and then you hit the trigger button, right? And it creates specifically a elevated plane, effectively. And you can also do inverse if you want. It's literally just however you want to set that up to work. But yeah, so anyways, not only am I doing that, but then I'm also, while I'm holding onto it still, I'm like shrinking the selection effectively. As you'll notice in a second here, I'll do it again, what I was doing a moment ago, mind you. But I'm purposely taking, actually, you know what, I'm going to modify this a little bit first. I'm going to raise that up a little higher. Raise this one up maybe a little higher too. Yeah, something like that I think would work better for this anyways. And yeah, I'm switching between these two because in this I can grab lines, I can grab circles, I can grab a face if I want. But then I can go, if I hit to the left on the analog stick, then I get to this, which is selecting just faces, which makes certain things easier. Anyways, grab on, hit the trigger, like I said, and then I'm going to shrink the selection by, for the moment at least, I'm gently tapping on the left, on the analog stick of that controller there. And in doing so, I'm trying to get it to where, yeah, that's pretty good right about there, I think. You can kind of start to see a bit of a face showing up there. I'm going to do something similar here. I'm going to grab, do an extrusion, but I'm only going to shrink it a little bit so that I can do this for the sake of the argument. And pull this down here. Pull that up. Pull that up too. Sorry about that. Okay. And then I'm going to grab here again. Do another extrusion. And by the way, this is, just how you make a basic nose, let's say. And I could leave it there if I really wanted to. If I want that to be the nose. Of course, you can also do something like this. Sorry. And grab there, pull up, maybe do like this to give it like a nice underside of the nose. And I could even say do another extrusion if I wanted to give it more of a pointed look to it or something. Like so. And you back on off. And it's not perfect, obviously. You have to do a little bit of fixing here and there. Sometimes. Well, oftentimes, actually. So give it a nice softer ridge here. And it's all just a matter of sort of micromanaging at certain points, in all honesty. Then I might want to give him better cheekbones. Pull that out. Maybe pull this in a little bit. I say him, but it doesn't really have to be him, per se. Again, then I can pull this in, sorta. You know, I mean, it's just a creative process in regards to like what kind of facial features you want to give any particular character model. Might pull this down, that as well, to help sort of give this character more of a, I don't know, like as you can see, like I'm giving it a better, more distinct jawline, I guess, if you will. Or I can give it a more flat jawline, like so, which is a little more childlike, I guess. I think I'm actually going to pull that in a little, well, I don't know. Make it nice and soft there. That feels about right. And then if I wanted, I could go ahead and grab here, shrink down a good bit. Go ahead, of course. Yeah. Feel like I should. Shrink that down some more too. Yeah, something like that. Again, I'm just trying to make a really simple, basic head to sort of give people an idea as to like what I'm doing, generally speaking. And then here, sake of the argument, I'm going to try to make a neck. And I could do any number of different things to make a decent neck. I'm going to grab here. I'm just going to do an extrusion again. Right? Basic extrusion. Pull it forward a little bit. I'm going to grab here and pull in a bit. Maybe pull these in a little bit. Give it a little more of a roundedness. Perhaps do the same over here. Give it that roundedness down here. But you can kind of tell, obviously. Yeah, again, it's just a overall creative process to making an overall body, a little wider here. There you got the shoulders, more or less. Might go ahead and just pull that out a little further. That's about right. Go ahead and grab here, pull down. And you know what? I think that's a little wide, so actually I'm going to pull it in a little bit. Not too hard of a process. Still a little wide, actually, yeah. Pulling it in a little more. Pull that up a little more, because that's like, that right there would be like, effectively your chest, obviously. Yeah, and I'm going to also do this, right? So I can grab here and pull that up higher. Right? And I'll grab, well, not the, sorry. Grab here, pull up. Because again, I'm trying to keep it more or less in proportion to a normal human body. More or less. It looks pretty close, pretty decent. Then I'll grab here. pull in a little bit, just a bit. Then I'll come down here and pull out just a little bit. Maybe do this number. There you go. There's like a decent torso. Then let's say, go ahead and grab here, do an extrusion. And I'll go ahead and grab this and pull all the way up here to about right so, for the sake of the argument. Then I'll go ahead and do this, grab. And let's say I want to add like some certain details, like make him have like a muscular sort of shoulder, do something like that maybe. You know, things like that. Just little touches. Oh, it's not too tough to make a fairly decent humanoid frame, etc. It's all just sort of something you mess with. It's sort of a learning process. Again, it's not the best. This is a fairly quick, like, I don't know if I should say tutorial. It's just, if you know the basic mechanics of the program, you know, then you can sit here and kind of mess with it and play around and make stuff. Didn't bother with the ears. I could, but I haven't bothered with them. But yeah, hopefully, if nothing else, this little video has been, you know, somewhat helpful to anybody that wants to try to learn how to use Gravity Sketch. But yeah. Anyways, you guys take it easy. Bye.